What if an entire empire once existed, so vast it stretched across continents, and yet today, almost no one remembers it? No records, no clear history, just fragments, old maps, and a name that shouldn't exist. Tartaria, the empire that was erased from the maps. If you search through old European maps from the 16th to 18th centuries, you'll find something strange. A massive region labeled Tartary, stretching across parts of Asia, sometimes even appearing larger than entire empires. But here's the problem. Modern history doesn't recognize Tartaria as a real empire. Instead, historians say it was just a vague term used by Europeans to describe unknown lands and diverse groups across Central and Northern Asia. So why does it appear so consistently across so many maps? Why don't we learn about Tartaria in school? Why isn't it mentioned alongside major empires like Rome or Mongolia? The simplest explanation is that Tartaria was never a single empire at all. Historians say the term was used by European map makers to describe vast, unfamiliar territories, lands they didn't fully understand. Instead of identifying each culture separately, they grouped them under one name, Tartary, a label for the unknown. Some believe Tartaria wasn't just a label, but a lost, advanced civilization that was deliberately erased from history. According to this theory, Tartaria had advanced architecture, unknown technology, and a global influence we've forgotten. Supporters often point to grand old buildings across the world, claiming they don't match the timelines we've been taught. Old maps are the strongest evidence used in this theory. Maps from different countries, different time periods, all labeling this massive region as Tartary. But historians argue something important. Back then, mapmakers didn't have accurate knowledge of distant lands. So instead of precise borders, they used catch-all names, grouping many different cultures under one label. Another popular claim is that many old buildings, especially in Europe and parts of Asia, were actually built by Tartarians. But again, historians push back. Most of these structures have well-documented origins tied to known empires, architects, and timelines. Some versions of the Tartaria theory go even further, suggesting a global catastrophe, often called a mud flood, buried parts of this civilization and wiped it from history. But there's no scientific evidence supporting this idea. So what's really going on here? The name Tartary did exist, but not as a single empire. It was a broad, outdated term used by Europeans to describe unfamiliar regions and peoples. Over time, as geography improved, the name disappeared, and with it, the illusion of something larger. But here's the part that keeps this story alive. Even if Tartaria wasn't a lost empire, it represents something real. A time when large parts of the world were unknown, misunderstood, and grouped into a single idea. And in those gaps, people begin to wonder. Because when something disappears from maps, it doesn't just vanish from geography. It lingers in questions, in theories, in the possibility that maybe something was missed. So was Tartaria ever real? Or was it simply a name for a world that hadn't yet been fully understood? The truth may not be as mysterious as the theory, but sometimes the mystery is what keeps history alive.